So in this videos, let us see factoring trinomials, and we will look at those trinomials where our a is not equal to 1. What I mean by that is, if we have our general form, the standard form of our trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c, so we will look at those example where our a is not equal to 1. It is anything other than 1. Okay, we have already seen how to solve when a is equal to 1. If you want to have a look at those videos, please check the link below in this video. Okay, so we move on with factoring trinomials. Let us look at an example. Let us take the example 6x square plus 13x plus 6. Okay, so in this case our a is not equal to 1. So what do we do then? So in this case also we will use the product sum method, but the product will be not just of our constant term, but it will be the product of our a and c. Okay, so a and c, what is the product? 6 are 36. So what we need to find it, and also the signs are important. So positive 6 and positive 6 is positive 36. So now we need to find out two terms whose product will give me positive 36 and the sum should be positive 13. Okay, so we have seen a video how we determine the signs beforehand. So we can do one example by determining the signs beforehand, and one example where we find the signs of the factors as we find the factors. So the product of the two numbers is positive 36. The sign of our middle term is positive, which I will write down here. And when I multiply both this positive and positive, my sign of the other term will also be positive. Now I need to find two numbers whose sum will give me positive 13. So let us write down the factors of 36. So I can write it as 36 ones are 36. It's not going to give me positive 13, the sum. Let us move to the next numbers. I can think of 9 fours are 36, and I see that 9 and 4 give me 13. So positive 9 and positive 4 will give me positive 13. Now if our a was equal to 1, what we would do, we would directly write the answer as x plus 9 and x plus 4. But since our a is not equal to 1, there are few more steps that we need to do, and we cannot write these factors directly like this because they won't be the factors. So what do we do is we write down the first term 6x square as it is. This 13x that we have split into two terms, 9x and 4x, is what we are going to write here. So I'll write here 9x plus 4x, and then our last term 6. Now what we are going to do is we are going to combine two terms together and see if we can factor out a common term from them. So I'll take these two terms together and these two terms together. Doesn't matter, I can also write it as 4x plus 9x. We will still end up with the same answer. So let us look in these two terms, 6x square and 9x. What is common? Correct. So x, first of all, x is common, and also I can see that between 6 and 9, 3 is the common factor. So I'll take 3 and x common, and what remains inside is 3 into 2 gives me 6, and x gives me x square. So the first term would be 2x plus, and then 3 3s are 9, and x is already factored out, so it will just be 2x plus 3. Now I will work with my other two terms, that is 4x plus 6. Here there is no x term that I can factor out because 6 doesn't have any x, but 4 and 6 I know that 2 is the common factor. So I'm going to write plus 2, and then it will be 2x plus, and 2 3s are 6. So 2x plus 3. What I can see here is between this term and this term, I see that the common term is 2x plus 3. So what I can do is I can factor out 2x plus 3 here. So 2x plus 3 is factored out, the common factor, and what remains is 3x from here. So 3x and plus 2 from this term. So plus 2. So these are my two factors of the trinomial, 2x plus 3 and 3x plus 2. If we want to know whether these are correct, if we FOIL back, we should get back our trinomial, and you can try that out. Let us look at one another example. Let me write down the example here. So let's write it down as 4x square minus x minus 3. Once again over here we can see that our a is not equal to 1. Okay, so let us find out the use the product sum method. So what we need to do is, first of all, we need to multiply 4 and 3. That is the coefficient of our x square term and our constant term. And again, don't forget the signs. So positive 4 and negative 3, the product would be negative 12. Okay, so let's write that down. I need to find out two numbers whose product would give me negative 12. Here I'm not determining the signs beforehand. Let us do the factors and figure out the sign as we go. So I need to find out two numbers whose sum should be negative 1, because I see that my x over here is minus x, so the coefficient is negative 1 here. Okay, so let us write down two numbers. Maybe 12 ones are 12, but again 12 and 1 don't give me negative 1, so scratch that out. Even if I do it negative 12 and 1 or 12 and negative 1, it will still not give me the answer. Let us move to the next vectors, say 4 and 3. So 4 3 is 12. Okay, if I want to get negative 12, one of them need to be negative. Now which one needs to be negative? Let us find out. Because our middle term is negative x, we need to get negative 1 as the sum. So that I will get if I write this 4 as negative and this 3 as positive. Okay, again these are not our factors directly because our a is not equal to 1. So what I need to do is I need to write this down now. So first term is 4x square. The middle term negative x can be written as negative 4x plus 3x, so when we add them we'll get negative x. That's what we have done. And then we'll write down the constant term, the last term, 3. Now let's club them together. As I said, again you can write positive 3x and negative 4x, it will still give you the same answer. So let us club them together, 4x square and 3x. Let us see what we can factor out here. So we see that I can factor out 4 and x. So what remains inside is x minus 1. And in this, from this term I can factor out 3. So it will be x minus 1. Now if I take these two terms together, I see that x minus 1 can be factored out here. So x minus 1, and then what remains from here is 4x, and what remains from this term is 4 plus 3. So these are my factors, x minus 1 and 4x plus 3. Again, if you want to check whether your answer is correct, FOIL them and you will get back your trinomial.